Carla? You shot a gun?
Hand over the weapon now, Miss Page. That's what you should have done in the first place.
A handgun would be rather useful if things went south. Perhaps I should steal it for myself. You've been dusting this room for a while, Georgiana. Are you all right?
Oh my. I must have lost track of time. I hope I'm not being too much of a nuisance.
You're no trouble at all. But I am a bit curious. Why are you still working after all the horrible atrocities that have happened? If it was me, I'd have handed in my notice days ago.
I could never do that to Ruben. And honestly, work is the only thing that keeps me sane.
Sure, it might help the mind. But working yourself to exhaustion doesn't do your body any favors. So how about you take a break and have a drink with me instead?
I appreciate the offer, Miss Saint Germain, but I'm afraid I can't. A drink wouldn't do me any good right now.
Then how about a chat? An interesting conversation might keep both our minds occupied.
A chat does sound lovely. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I don't want to pry, but I've overheard some gossip before about you being a former convict.
I suppose I can't outrun my past after all.
So it is true. How does someone as earnest as you end up in jail?
Let's just say, matters of the heart led me down some thorny paths.
You poor thing. How much time did it cost you?
10 dreadful years.
Sacre bleu! You must have quite a tale to tell.
One I'd prefer not to share, if you don't mind.
Completely understandable. We all have our hidden chapters, don't we? Now, it's only fair that I answer some of your questions next.
Oh, that's not necessary, Miss Saint Germain. I don't even know what I'd ask.
Then how about I share a story about the time I joined a civil rights protest that got me incarcerated?
You served time? A woman of your status? Now that's a surprise.
Oh, I've had my moments. In my student years, I was fueled by dreams and ideals, convinced I could reshape the world. But as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. A single protest gone awry, and there I was, behind bars. It was only for a couple of weeks, but it felt like a lifetime.
Good thing it was short-lived then.
Can you believe? My own father wanted to leave me there until the trial. He called me the black sheep of the family.
But you didn't do anything wrong.
According to him, I'd been associating with whiny vagabonds who were ruining our country. He thought a short spell in prison would knock some sense into me.
I do understand what it feels like not to live up to your family's ridiculous expectations. My very own mother disowned me because I couldn't live up to her standards.
And that's exactly what made us strong, Georgiana. Our despicable families forced us to become self-reliant in order to survive.
I agree, Miss Saint Germain. But families are complicated. My father abandoned me during my youth, but showed up when I needed him the most. As a matter of fact, it's because of his moral support that I was able to get out of jail.
You're fortunate to have a father who cared enough to make amends. All mine ever did was ignore me. At least he kept my arrest out of the papers. But even that was to protect his own image. That was all he ever cared about.
With all due respect, your father sounds like a nasty piece of work. But even someone like him might one day feel remorse for their actions.
I doubt it. Our years of silence speak louder than any words could at this point.
There's still time to make things right.
What time? I'll be 50 next year, and my father's probably drafting his will as we speak.
Oh my, you don't look your age at all.
No thanks to my past. However, let's not continue to dwell on distant memories, and instead, talk about something more pleasant, like the divine spa I frequent in Paris. It's my little fountain of youth, you see. I'd be more than happy to arrange a trip for you as well.
That does sound lovely. Perhaps after all this is over, I should take a holiday.
This is my chance to search Portia's room for any information on Project Genetica.
And maybe go visit a couple of other countries afterwards.
Merde!
Oh my goodness. I've got it, Miss Saint Germain. You'd better go and change.
Merci, chérie. I'll be back in a second. Before going up to Portia's, I should grab a few things from my suite. I need to get the black USB key out of the bag to help me infiltrate Portia's laptop. And I mustn't forget to grab the gloves off the nightstand too. Better safe than sorry. There should... Locked. But not for long. Worked like a charm. Time to glove up and make my entrance. Okay, now let's get down to business.
What are you doing here? I asked you a question.
Some accidents just can't be avoided. Sorry, Sam, but I guess you'll have to be my scapegoat. I suppose I should put the gun back in the secret stash. I forgot. Voila! All that's left is to put the gun back. I should switch my top before going back to the club room. Sorry about the mess earlier, Georgiana.
Not a problem at all, Miss Saint Germain.
Now, where were we?